Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. I begin with the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Hope you are good in health. This is lecture number 23 of the course Biometabolism. In this lecture, we will study the interaction between carbohydrates, proteins, and fat metabolism. I welcome all of you in this lecture with the prayer, Rabbi Zidni Ilma, my Lord, increase me in knowledge. The contents of this lecture are the introduction of protein, fat, and carbohydrates, little briefing about carbohydrate and carbohydrate metabolism, then protein and protein metabolism, then fat and fat metabolism. After that, the interconversion between three principal components, that are fat, protein, and carbohydrates. What is the relationship between the metabolism of protein, carbohydrates, and fats? And finally, at the end, we will conclude the interaction between carbohydrate, protein, and fat metabolism. Dear students, in previous lectures, you study about carbohydrate metabolism, protein metabolism, and fat metabolism. In this concluding lecture, we will study the interaction between these three metabolisms of protein, carbohydrate, and fat. Dear students, the meals we take in routine, or the diet we take in routine, is the mixture of protein, carbohydrates, fats, various vitamins, and various other essential components. Carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are the essential parts of our diet, and they fulfill the energy requirements of our routine. Our meal consists of mixture of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. We take in diet carbohydrate in the form of flour, in the form of bread, wheat, as well as from fruits and various vegetables. From rice, we also take carbohydrates. We take proteins in routine from milk, yogurt, cheese, egg, meat, various cereals, grains, etc. And we take fat from egg, butter, oil, ghee. Various nuts are the sources of fats. Similarly, various vegetables and fruits also consist of little bit part of fats. So the mixture of all these things we eat in routine, definitely their metabolism or their digestion occur from mouth to stomach, in largest intestine, in small intestine, and definitely there is a one mechanism of the broken down and one mechanism of the metabolism of carbohydrate, proteins, and fat, or you can say there is one system in which all these three components metabolism occur. So is there byproducts or the products formed after the metabolism of fat, protein, and carbohydrates are intermixed with each other, or they have any relationship with each other, or the products formed after the metabolism of carbohydrate, proteins, and fats are interconvertible in between each other, we will study in detail. First of all, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are macronutrients. In the human body, metabolism is the oxidation of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats to produce carbon dioxide, water, and energy. We have defined metabolism as the broken down mechanism of the protein, carbohydrates, and fats, and the production of carbon dioxide, water, and energy necessary for the various processes of life. Cellular metabolism describes as the process by which the products of digestion are chemically modified to yield usable energy. The products of the carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are chemically modified to yield usable energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate. We use this energy to perform various functions of our life or various functions of our body. We exhale carbon dioxide while we inhale oxygen from the air, as well as we excrete water and ammonia products in the form of urine, and energy we utilize for fulfilling our requirement or for fulfilling various works of our lives. Carbohydrates are simply known as sugars. You can see in this picture, sources of carbohydrates are beans, nuts, seeds, variety of seeds, whole grains like bread, wheat, barley, etc. Various fruits like bananas, apples, mangoes, grapes, etc. Various vegetables like potato is a rich source of carbohydrate. Similarly, lemon, you can see in this picture, lemon, spinach, etc. they are the sources of carbohydrates. In little or more amount, carbohydrates are present in beans, nuts, seeds, whole grains, fruits, as well as in vegetables. Carbohydrates provide energy for daily activity of life. You can say they are also the storehouse of energy. Carbohydrates provides to allow proper organ function. Carbohydrates provides energy to the life. Carbohydrates are intermediate energy in the form of glucose source. Carbohydrates provides energy source which is known as glucose. This glucose is also known as intermediate source of energy. Carbohydrates store energy in the form of glycogen. Animals store energy in the form of glycogen, whereas plants store these carbohydrates or energy source in the form of starch. So these carbohydrates are also storehouses of energy. We use the stored energy for the various function to perform in life. Let us see briefly about carbohydrate metabolism. Carbohydrates are present in the form of bread, cake, butter, etc. You can see in this picture. When we take this meal consists of egg and bread, etc. They are broken down in the mouth and they get reached in the stomach. In the stomach, in the presence of enzymes, in the presence of hydrochloric acid, in the presence of other things, these carbohydrates are broken down in the stomach and they are converted into glucose, or you can say in glycolysis process, glucose is the first precursor that is formed from the carbohydrate, or you can say units of carbohydrate is glucose. Various glucose, galactose, fructose, mannose, etc. These units are joined to form carbohydrate polymers. They are the monomers of carbohydrates. In stomach, bigger units of carbohydrates are broken down to produce glucose. This glucose is carried throughout the body through blood. This glucose is utilized for performance of the various functions of body. As it reached, this glucose is reached in the alternative cells or various cells of the body through the circulation in the blood. It is converted into energy, and it goes into two ways. In one way, either it is stored in the form of glycogen or in the form of starch. In other way, it is released in the form of energy, and this energy is released in the form of carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide we use to exhale through breath, and water we excreted through kidneys. Through glycogen, it is stored in the body and it is stored in the liver. It is used immediately by the brain, nerves, and heart, etc. for performing their proper function, and it is stored in the form of liver as glycogen. In the liver, it is altered into fatty acids, or it is these fatty acids can also carried by blood and deposited as fats. So these carbohydrates at the end get linked with the fat. These carbohydrates are changed or altered into fatty acids. You can say glycogen stored in the liver can be altered or converted into fatty acid. These fatty acids are carried by blood and deposited as fats. So carbohydrates and fats get interlinked at this stage. Now let us see what happened with proteins. Proteins are sequences of amino acids, or monomers of proteins are amino acids. You know that amino acids get linked by the peptide bond, and smaller amino acids units are joined by forming peptide bond to form the bigger polymer of proteins. Proteins are molecular machines. They perform for the function of building blocks of the cells, they and arms of the living cells. They can perform various other activities like contraction and relaxation of muscles. Protein can also perform the function as a carrier. Protein also help out for the building up of genetic material. And proteins are also the major source of energy. You can see in this picture various sources of protein like milk, yogurt, cheese, egg, butter, capsicum, ginger, etc. These are the sources of proteins. Proteins produces enzymes that increases the rate of chemical reaction in the body. You can say protein act as a catalyst. Without proteins, no chemical reactions speedily, or no chemical reaction can complete at time in the body. In all chemical reactions, the enzymes that perform the key role are made up of proteins. Protein is also involved in the creation of some hormones, and hormones are the regulatory cells, or you can say hormones are the regulatory chemicals of the body. What happened when metabolism of protein occurs? In protein metabolism, dietary proteins were intake in the digestion of the mouth and in the stomach intestine. These dietary proteins are converted into amino acids. These amino acids are transported through blood membrane, and it adopt two way. In one way, these broken down amino acids are again unite by forming peptide bonds and united to form proteins. In another way, or second way, it is converted into nitrogen containing compounds, and nitrogen containing compounds, major compound is urea. You can see in this picture the structure of urea. Amino acids are broken down and converted into ammonia, and ammonia further converted into urea. And carbon dioxide is also produced along with the formation of adenosine triphosphate as the source of energy, and water is also formed as a byproduct of this mechanism, which is excreted through body. So proteins are stored as ATP sources of energy, as well as broken down amino acids are joined to form protein, and the byproduct or the waste product of protein metabolism is the urea, which is excreted through body. Let us see what happened with fats. Fats are organic compounds composed of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Oxygen contacts and are usually flammable and slippery. Dear students, there are two types of fats, you know very well. One are saturated fats and other are unsaturated fats. Saturated fats are those fats in which carbon hydrogen bond is single and more number of hydrogen atoms cannot be added in the single bond between carbon and hydrogen, whereas unsaturated fats consist of double, triple or multiple bonds between carbon and hydrogen backbone of fatty acids. So the examples of saturated fats are butter, meat, milk and cream, cheese, egg and suet at the normal room temperature, whereas unsaturated fats are the oils, usually sunflower oil, olive oil, nuts, seeds, polyunsaturated, margarines, fish oils and oily fish. These are examples of unsaturated fats at room temperature. Usually it is recommended to use unsaturated fats because they are not freeze inside the body, inside the arteries, because at room temperature or at 37 Celsius degree temperature, these oils do not deposited inside the arteries by freezing, as they are not freeze outside the body at room temperature. What is the function fat perform? Fat insulate the body with the layer of adipose tissues. Extra fats are usually deposited in the adipose tissues of the body. Adipose tissues are the specific types of tissues present in our body at various locations. Excessive fats are stored in these adipose tissues. Fats protect delicate organs like kidneys, etc. from abrasive damage, or in the form of injury. Fats protect these kidneys and provide insulation for various organs of body. Fats are the sources of vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and K. Various types of vitamins are present in these fats, and in the form of oil and ghee. So these are the sources of vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, and K. What happened with the fat metabolism? Fat metabolism is related with carbohydrate and protein metabolism. Fats consist of phospholipids, or you can say fatty acids are consist of phospholipids and triglycerides. And fatty acids are broken down into phospholipids as well as into triglycerides, or you can say phospholipids and triglycerides are goes through the process of lipolysis and form fatty acids. Synthesis of fatty acids occur by combining phospholipids and triglycerides lipolysis process. Once these fatty acids are formed through oxidation process or beta oxidation process, these fatty acids are converted into acetyl-CoA enzyme. And dear students, this acetyl-CoA enzyme is entered into tricarboxylic acid cycle or citric acid cycle. Now we link this tricarboxylic acid cycle with the carbohydrate. We know that carbohydrates consist of or stored in the form of glycogen, and when this glycogen broken down, it is converted into glucose. These arrows represent reversible arrows. These products are broken down into each other, as well as synthesis of these products is also occur from their broken parts. For example, glucose is broken down into glycogen. Similarly, glycogen after synthesis converted into glucose. Glucose goes into pyruvate in the glycolysis process or gluconeogenesis process. This pyruvate is further converted into acetyl-CoA, as this fatty acid is converted into acetyl-CoA after the oxidation. So these both acetyl-CoA entered into tricarboxylic acid cycle. In tricarboxylic acid cycle, it goes through cyclic process and various intermediate products are formed. After passing through this cycle, these products are further generate FADH2 and NADH, as well as synthesis of ATP occur, and the products of this tricarboxylic acid cycle are entered into electron transport chain. In all these processes, broken metabolism of fats through metabolism of carbohydrates through tricarboxylic acid cycle through glycolysis through electron transport chain, ATP synthesis or synthesis of energy rich molecules also occurs, which we utilize for the performing various functions of our body. Now, the interconversion between three principal components. The products of three principal components, carbohydrates, glucose and fats, are interconvertible. Carbohydrates can be converted into fats and fats can be easily converted into carbohydrates. Similarly, carbohydrates can be converted into proteins and proteins can be converted into carbohydrates. Similarly, proteins can be converted into fats and fats can easily converted into proteins. You can see these all interconversion in this picture. The relationship between the metabolism of protein, carbohydrates and fats. You can see the three major organs of body. These are adipose tissues of body where triglycerol or triglycerides are present and stored in the form of fatty acids. These are the muscle proteins, or you can see these muscles representing the sources of proteins. Here proteins are stored. This is the liver. It's representing the storehouse of glycogen as carbohydrate. Now let us start with glycogen. Glycogen is broken down into glucose, and glucose is broken down into phosphoglyceraldehyde, and this phosphoglyceraldehyde is broken down into pyruvic acid. This phosphoglyceraldehyde can also be converted into glycerol, and this glycerol can again join with the fatty acids to form triglyceride or triglyceraldehyde, which are the main fatty acid molecules. Proteins made up of amino acids. These amino acids are directly broken down into pyruvic acid in one way. In other way, these amino acids are entered into Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle, and few amino acids get converted into urea excreted through body. And this pyruvic acid, you can say, is the main central molecule of all these three substances: protein, carbohydrate and fats. Glycerol is broken down into phosphoglyceraldehyde. Similarly, fatty acids are broken down into acetyl-CoA enzyme, which is the next product of pyruvic acid. Once pyruvic acid is formed from all these three products, it is converted into acetyl-CoA enzyme. This acetyl-CoA enzyme is entered into Krebs cycle, and various carbon number containing molecules are formed, like carbon 4, carbon 6 and carbon 8 containing backbone containing molecules are formed in this Krebs cycle, and energy rich molecules are generated. So if pyruvic acid formed from all these three products, they are converted into acetyl-CoA. You can see reversible arrows at each place. These reversible arrows indicated that one product is converted into other, and other product can be back converted into that parent product. And the final depositing or sink of all these substances is acetyl-CoA, which is entered into Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle. From Krebs cycle, the products formed enter into electron transport chain. So energy rich molecules are produced. We can conclude that carbohydrate, proteins and fats we take in our routine, they are the sources of energy to perform various functions of life. Carbohydrates, lipids, metabolism can be checked in the fasting state. When we are in the fasting state, amino acids, glycerol and lactate used for gluconeogenesis and ketone formation. When we are in the fasting state, proteins that are stored in the body, fatty acids and lactates in the form of carbohydrates are used for gluconeogenesis process and ketone formation. But when we are in the starvation state, fatty acids are used to greater extent. Deposited fats are used in greater extent. Glycerol is the major glucose source, is also used, as well as ketosis occur after oxaloacetate depletion. So in the fasting state, in the starvation state, carbohydrates and lipid metabolism occur, and these products are utilized, or stored products of carbohydrates and lipid metabolism are utilized for performing the cellular functions. Acetyl-CoA is the link between lipid and carbohydrate metabolism pathways. Glucose, glycerol and fatty acids are degraded into acetyl-CoA. As I have already told you in the picture, of the interconversion between carbohydrates, lipids and fats. Biosynthesis of fatty acids, ketone bodies and cholesterol all use these acetyl-CoA enzymes for the synthesis of fatty acids, ketone bodies and cholesterol bodies. The metabolisms of fatty acids and that of carbohydrates and proteins are intimately interrelated to each other. The constituents are in constant state of flux. Even the structural proteins, carbohydrates and stored lipids are constantly broken down and rebuilt from each other. They are in the constant state of flux. It doesn't mean that they get stored and do not move from that place. Few are stored and saved, but in the form of starvation or fasting state, these stored carbohydrates, fats and proteins are utilized. They goes in the state of flux. Even the structural proteins, carbohydrate and stored lipids are also constantly broken down and rebuilt. The status of particular animal is the net result between the rates of synthesis and of broken down of its body constituents. The particular animal health or the status of particular animal energy is the net result between the rates of synthesis of and broken down of its body constituents, rate of the formation and utilization of its body constituents. And the major constituents are carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Glycerol is the only component of lipid that is involved in the synthesis of carbohydrates. Glycerol is the component of lipid that is ultimately converted or utilized for the synthesis of carbohydrates. On the other hand, lipids can also be formed from carbohydrates in many ways. So, carbohydrates and lipids are interconvertible into each other. Indeed, the metabolism of lipids, carbohydrates and proteins are metabolically dynamic. Their metabolism is dynamic and these products are convertible into each other, and if these products are not interconvertible into each other, they can easily get released through the body by formation of their waste products, and few get absorbed in the form of energy in the body or in the form of nutrients in the blood. If they are not interconvertible, they independently get utilized and absorbed and excreted by formation of their byproducts through body. We can say that the broken down and synthesis of carbohydrates, proteins and lipid connects with the pathway of glucose catabolism. We can say that glycolysis or glucose catabolism pathway can be the main pathway in which synthesis of carbohydrate, protein and lipid, all these three can take place. The simple sugars are glucose, galactose, fructose, glycogen and pentoses. They are catabolized during this glycolysis process. They get broken down in this glycolysis process. Carbohydrates we take in routine are present in simple sugar forms like in the form of galactose, fructose, glycogen and pentoses. These simple sugars are catabolized during glycolysis process. The amino acids that are protein sources can connect with this glucose catabolism process through pyruvate and through acetyl-CoA formation, and components of citric acid cycle are ultimately formed after this acetyl-CoA entered into citric acid or Krebs cycle. Cholesterol synthesis starts with the acetyl groups, and the components of triglycerides come from glycerol 3 phosphate from glycolysis, and acetyl groups produced in the mitochondria from pyruvate. The third component, cholesterol, its synthesis starts with the acetyl groups, and the components of triglycerides that are the precursors of cholesterol synthesis come from glycerol 3 phosphate from glycolysis, that is the main process of the catabolism of glucose products, and acetyl groups produced in the mitochondria from pyruvate cycle. So we can conclude that in the human body, metabolism is the oxidation of carbohydrates, proteins and fats to produce carbon dioxide, water and energy. The metabolism of lipids, carbohydrates and protein is metabolically dynamic process. It is continuously flux process or the continuous movement of protein, carbohydrates and lipid products metabolism takes place in the body. So the metabolism of fatty acids and that of carbohydrates and proteins are intimately related to each other. These are the references from which these slides have prepared or these materials have been taken out. Thank you and good luck.